Books and Booze, a bookish and wine-induced podcast from two book lovers who have never met. That is the power of the internet.
Today we're doing our summer reads, as we recently did winter reads for our overseas listeners.
And I believe that summer reads will go very well with your recent complexion.
Yep, I am a lobster, or that's what I resemble at the moment. I went to Byron Bay for the weekend for the first time, and I don't often wear a lot of sun cream, so I learnt my lesson and I got scorched.
Did you like Byron?
I loved it.
Isn't it beautiful?
Oh my gosh, I didn't want to leave. One of the best, most wonderful hippie places, so relaxed to go to for like a summer holiday. The beaches are gorgeous, the waves are amazing, and then there's like also bits of the beach where it's just like completely flat glass and the water's so blue. Oh, I just loved it.
Well, I got a skin cancer check done today because we live in Australia and the sun is very fierce here, and I haven't had one done ever, and so I thought that it would probably be a good time to start because I am also very bad at wearing sunscreen because I have Mediterranean skin, but I was all good, so that's good. But I think that everyone should kind of get it done.
Yeah, Mark's trying to get us to go in for skin cancer checks. I've also never had one, and I'm so worried. But yeah, no, it's the right thing to do.
So that's our PSA for tonight. I'll move on to books.
Exactly.
Just because we're talking about summer and you're sunburnt and I had that done today, so it's all kind of relevant.
Yes, exactly. No, I've got a couple of little beauty spots and moles that I definitely need to go get looked at. So, fun times. Because Australia is it's the number one place in the world to get skin cancer, isn't it?
I think
the sun is extremely harsh here.
Yeah, it was interesting because like when we went to Europe and I was saying to Mitch, like, you don't need to worry as much about sunscreen, and he was freaking out and he's like, SPF 50, SPF 50. And then he's like, oh, you're right, you don't really burn in Europe as much as you do in Australia. The sun is very, very harsh here. Yeah,
like when I lived in Mallorca, I could literally spend all day on the beach with coconut oil lathered all over my body, and I'd look like an Indian, and I was so brown, and it was wonderful. Like my family said they couldn't even recognize me anymore because I was so dark, but here I just go blood red, and then I peel, and then I'm back to being pasty, which is lovely.
I mean, I don't know if it's true, but I've always heard that there is actually a hole in the ozone layer above Australia.
Oh, right.
I've heard that since I was young, but I don't 100% know if that is fact or not. So I don't know why the sun is as harsh here, and I don't know if that contributes to it. I don't know if it's true. If anybody knows if it's true, let us know.
That's very interesting. Anyway, so we have both picked 3 books each that we thought would really be good summery beachy reads. So what's your first pick, Chiara?
So I did one that I've read and 2 that I haven't read but are on my TBR for this summer. Yeah. So I thought I'd start with the one that I read, and it's one that I read a couple of weeks ago now, but it was Forever Interrupted by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Okay. I like lighter books in the summer. I think probably because I'm so busy and so distracted, I don't read as much, I don't think, in the summer. So this one's a contemporary, like more of a contemporary book. The other 2 are more thrillers, but I think they're lighter thrillers. Yeah. But Forever Interrupted was really good. I really enjoyed it. I really like Taylor Jenkins Reid's writing style. She writes really nice, like contemporary, romancy kind of books, but they're more realistic, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like they're not too, like they're mushy, but they're not like ridiculously over the top.
What's the toast one that you, isn't there?
That was After I Do. Yeah, there's burnt toast.
After I Do. Yeah. I think I put that on my Goodreads list to read after you spoke about that one.
So this one is about Elsie Porter is an average 20-something, and yet what happens to her is anything but ordinary. On a rainy New Year's Day, she heads out to pick up pizza for one. She isn't expecting to see anyone else at the shop, much less the adorable and charismatic Ben Ross. Their chemistry is instant and electric. Ben can't wait 24 hours before asking to see her again. Within weeks, they're head over heels. By May, they've eloped. Only 9 days later, Ben is riding his bike when he is hit by a truck and killed on impact. And that's not a spoiler, that's on the back of the book, and that's in the first chapter.
Yep.
Elsie hears the sirens outside her apartment, but what happens by the time she gets there is that Ben rushed off to the ER. At the hospital, she must meet Susan and her mother-in-law that she's never met and who doesn't even know Elsie exists. Interweaving Elsie and Ben's charmed romance with Elsie and Susan's healing process, you'll be reminded that there's more than one way to find a happy ending.
Oh, that sounds really good.
It was sad, but it was really good, and I really liked the story and the characters, and it was a good one. I was in a bit of a reading slump, and I picked this one up because I thought, oh, this will probably get me out of it, and it did.
That's good. Yeah, and sometimes, you need that sort of more heartfelt kind of book when you're lying on the beach and
definitely
something a bit, I like that. I'm going to add that one to my list. I haven't read anything by her yet. I really must.
I really like her. She has a book coming out. I'm going to kind of talk about it in Boozy Banter a bit, but I'm really excited for one that's coming out, so I'll talk about that a bit later.
Oh, okay. So my first pick is the previous Reese Witherspoon pick of the month, The Other Woman by Sandy Jones. Chiara did not enjoy it, but I really did. I thought that it was a really dazzling debut, and I gave it 4 goblets of wine. I love it when we have different opinions on books, but
I think we're going to do an episode on it, so I'll keep my opinions to myself.
Okay, cool. So I won't go too much into why I liked it then if we're going to do an episode on it, but I'll just explain what it's about. It's like the mother-in-law from hell is like every woman's worst nightmare, and most of the time, I guess, we don't really have anything to worry about when we meet our partner's mother. She turns out to be a sweetheart, but unfortunately that is not the case for our main character, Emily. She finally feels like she's met the one. Adam is everything she could possibly want, so when their relationship escalates, it's time to meet the mother-in-law. Emily instantly realizes that she's got her work cut out for her with Pammy. She's the kind of character that you just love to hate. She's evil and manipulative, malicious and just downright wicked, and I really, really, really love this book. Emily's love for Adam is unshakable, and she's determined to keep her relationship afloat despite the mother-in-law's taunting. And that is all I'm going to say, because I will talk about why I liked it and you'll talk about why you disliked it in a upcoming episode. But I thought that it was quite a cool book to... It was quick and fun and just the perfect book I could devour in one sitting on the beach.
Did you read it or listen to it on audiobook?
I listened to it on Audible.
Okay, me too.
Yeah, I'm still reading the same paperback book that I've been reading for like the last 3 weeks. I just don't have time to read physical books these days. So thank God for Audible. It really has helped me, because I'm almost on 100 books for this year so far that I've read.
Yeah, I'm almost at 60, which, considering at the beginning of the year I barely read anything because I had a 3-month-old, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, well done.
Thank you.
What's your next book?
This is one that you said you thought that, see, my struggle is always when there's an annoying main character, and this is one that you said that it's an annoying main character. So I may struggle with it, but I still added it to my list.
Can I guess?
Yeah?
Something in the Water.
Yeah, Something in the Water by Catherine Steadman. Erin is a documentary filmmaker on the brink of a professional breakdown. Mark, a handsome investment banker with big plans. Passionately in love, they embark on a dream honeymoon to Bora Bora, where they enjoy sun, sand, and each other. Then, while scuba diving, they find something in the water. Suddenly, the newlyweds must make a choice: speak out or protect their secret. After all, if no one knows who would be hurt, their decision will trigger devastating chains of events. So this is another Reese Witherspoon pick, actually. I think it was a few months ago now, but I thought the cover reminds me of summer, so it's just the water and there's like a jetty, and so I thought that it'd be a good one for summer. And I've heard that you don't know what to expect going into it. Like, it doesn't really give it away anything, the blurb.
So the one thing I will say about it is, because I've read it, is that you think going into it that it is going to be about a couple on their honeymoon and they're going scuba diving and stuff, but that is a very small portion of the book.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's if you're looking for a book that's going to transport you to somewhere really exotic, that's not really the case with this book, but it's still, I really enjoyed it. So just good luck with the main character, because I wanted to smash her head in.
Okay, and you didn't want to smash the main character in the other woman?
We're different. We'll go into that later. I think, we're going to go into that later.
And I think the author is like an actress or something.
She's from Downton Abbey.
Okay, I did watch that. Which one is she in Downton Abbey? The maid?
I haven't watched it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've just heard that she's from Downton Abbey, so.
Maybe
I need to watch it, though. It sounds like something I'd enjoy.
Yeah, I enjoyed the first couple of seasons, and then some stuff happened and I kind of got over it.
All right.
But, I mean, it was pretty good.
All right. This is one that you have also read. You told me you were interested in my thoughts on it. So I recently read Lullaby by Leila Slimani.
Oh, yep.
Yep, and I loved it. I gave it 4.5 goblets of wine. The book opens with this horrific violent scene of 2 children murdered by their nanny. It's a really haunting possibility, and I think that's what really creeped me out and sucked me in. I mean, if you think about it, parents could easily invite the wrong kind of person into their home and end up regretting it for the rest of their life. So I felt like this was why this book had such an unsettling impact on me. And as much as I like to think that parents should be more careful with who they trust their kids with, you actually have to ask yourself, how well do you know the people in your life? And that's kind of the message I got from this book. That kind of made the book really believable and atmospheric for me. On the one hand, I wasn't really sure how to continue reading it, but on the other, I just couldn't put it down. Like, I was so disturbed and I felt sick, but it was so gripping as well.
Yeah, it's definitely a page turner.
It really is. Parents have a lot of responsibilities, you know, financially, emotionally, juggling children, full-time jobs, cleaning, cooking. A nanny is someone that you can kind of really fall back on and become reliant on. And the idea that a nanny could be so sinister and dark is so frightening to me. You let someone like a nanny in and they learn so much about you, and then you become attached to them, and suddenly she's embedded herself into your entire life. So that's kind of what the premise of this book is. But then I realized that this book, Lullaby, is based on a true story. Did you know that?
No.
Ugh. I was like, oh my God, it's inspired by the killing of a nanny that killed the Krim children in Manhattan. And furthermore, quoted from Wikipedia, Slimani named the nanny Louise after Louise Woodward, a British au pair in the US that was convicted of involuntary manslaughter of the toddler in her care. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I was just like, oh my goodness. And then like that just gave me such an unsettling feeling after I read the book. It's very unique. It's a French crime novel, and I really adored the Parisian feel to it. It was really fresh, chilling, and it shook me into my core. Slimani's writing style is incredible. I wish she had more books translated into English. So I think that this book would have only been even more incredible in its native tongue, French.
And it's a pretty quick read too.
Definitely, yeah. I think, what was it? It's only like 4 or 5 hours on Audible.
Well, I read the book and I think it's very slim. I think it's only about 200 pages, 250 pages maybe.
Yeah.
I think it also goes by a different title in America. Or maybe
I've heard
here.
that, yes.
I'm not 100% sure what it is. But if you look up the author, you'll be able to find it through the synopsis.
Yeah.
The cover art is really pretty on that one too. It's got like a button-up blue kind of maid's uniform kind of thing.
Yeah, very,
with the
very
pig pan
cozy.
colour. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I've been trying to read, or meaning to read that book for about a year now, I think, since I first got to Australia, and I just never picked it up. And so I was so excited when I saw it on Audible, and I just had to get it and devoured it.
Yeah, it is. It's a very interesting book. It's very slow burning too.
Yeah, I think also because I listened to it on Audible, it went a lot faster. But
okay, yeah, because it kind of opens with the graphic, horrific, scene, and then it kind of goes into the normal day-to-day life of this nanny and the family, and you get like just a creepy undercurrent.
I feel like maybe it's a little bit like Karen Slaughter's novels, where she always opens with this massive bang, and then the story slowly like fades into the plot and the people. Yeah. What's your next pick?
The Sunday Girl by Pip Drysdale.
Okay. I think I saw a picture of this one on our Instagram.
Yeah, I posted it today. I saw some pretty pink flowers at the shops today when I was up there, and I was like, ooh, that'd make a nice photo for the pretty pink cover of the book. So this got recommended to me by one of our listeners at Words and Worries.
Okay.
And she said that this was fantastic. And then the other one was Boy Swallows Universe, which, I mean, everyone has kind of recommended that one, so I really need to get into that. But yes, the synopsis of this one is: any woman who has ever been involved with a bad man will understand what it's like to be broken-hearted, and bent on revenge. Taylor Bishop is hurt, angry, and wants to destroy Angus Hollingsworth in the way he destroyed her. So Taylor consults the art of war and forms a plan. Then she takes the next step, one that will change her life forever. Things really get out of control, and the Sunday Girl becomes impossible to put down. So
that sounds really good.
Yeah, and it sounds like a lighter kind of thriller.
Yeah.
It's nice
and so enjoyable.
It is.
It's really enjoyable. Yeah, to like get that, you can just relax, and you're not... You can just kind of chill on the beach and still feel relaxed and not like on the edge of your seat, like, oh my God.
Yeah. I don't know if this is a debut novel from the author, and I'm pretty sure she's Australian, which we always love. But yeah, it sounds really good, and people who've read it have really enjoyed it. And it's got a gorgeous pink cover. I think Books on the Rail actually did a drop of this one.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
How did your Books on the Rail Book Ninja drops go?
That was good. I did it at Taronga Zoo.
Yeah?
Yeah, so like
I saw one picture.
Yeah, so I had a whole bunch of the Stephen King books because it took a while for my stickers to arrive. And so I asked the girls if I could drop them at Taronga Zoo because it wasn't technically a rail or public transport, and they were like, yeah, of course. So I dropped them kind of all around the zoo, and it was really funny because I was leaving the places and Alex would be like, Mummy, your book, you forgot your book. And I'm like, no, that's like what I'm meant to do. And he just did not grasp the concept at all. But it was nice. It was fun. And so like by the time I looped back around to the start, the books were gone. So hopefully some people picked them up.
I hope so. Yeah, the same thing happens with me when I'm on the bus. Like I'll leave a book on the seat next to me, and then I'll get up and leave, and then someone will start like running or like calling me and going, hey, you left your book, and I'm like, no, I didn't. Sorry. And then like there's this one lady, older lady on the bus the other day, and I was like, look, it's got a sticker on it, you can keep it. And she gave me the biggest smile, and she was like, really, I can keep it? And I was like, yeah, look at the sticker. And then I just walked off the bus, and I felt really like eerie.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? It's just different. Like you're kind of like, yep, I'm just leaving it here.
Yeah, I just really hope that people actually do pick him up and take part in it, because I mean it must be a shit ton of money to have all those books just dropped off, and what if people just dump them in the bin or something? Like that's what I'm so scared of, or like someone just puts them into lost and found property. I just hope that they fall into the right hands and people like really make this Books on the Rail initiative bigger and better and awesome.
It's pretty exciting. I like it. I would have loved something like this when I was catching public transport.
Yeah. Like, I wish that I could freaking find books on the bus. I have to drop them off. I'm like, I don't want to drop you off.
I love you.
Even though I have my own copy of you. All right.
What's your last one?
My last pick is one I just finished and just blew my mind. I got a very big Caroline Kepnes you feel to it, so I really think that you would enjoy it. But this one, instead of it being a male Joe Goldberg, it's a female sociopath, which is really different. And so sociopaths in general are becoming a really fascinating part of thriller books lately. And to have a novel where we're inside of the mind of a sociopath through a first-person style of writing is really compelling. It's Jane Doe by Victoria Helen Stone is the book I'm talking about today, and it is fiercely addicting, darkly humorous, and just utter perfection in my eyes. I gave it 5 goblets of wine. It's the kind of book I wish that I could have written. I think it honestly slotted very quickly and easily into one of my top favorite thrillers of 2018 so far. It's a book about revenge, hatred, and it's really juicy, saucy, and sexy. The main character, the sociopath Jane, is a woman on a mission. She has her sights set on the manager of the company she works for, Stephen. She wants to lure him in. She does what she must to become the best bait possible. She lives a double life, seducing him with lies until she has him hook, line, and sinker. Then she bites. She's a sociopath and she wants everything, and she wants to destroy him. She's planning on taking away everything that he cares about. I loved it. Chiara, I honestly need you to read this book. It's so good.
I'll add it. I'm adding it to my list.
Yeah, I mean, it was delicious. Like, I don't know how to describe it besides being, like, wickedly funny and disturbing. It was smart, brutal, gripping. I just plowed through it in one sitting. It's how powerful darkness can be kind of in a thriller novel without any gritty violence, you know, like it wasn't gory or graphic, but it was just dark, which was really powerful. And I love that we're supposed to hate this main character, Jane, but we end up loving her, kind of like Joe Goldberg. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, and all the characters were amazing, even Steven, the manager that she wants to destroy. I mean, he's a hideous person, and I think he's a sociopath himself. But yeah, I just need to talk to someone about this book. So please, everyone, just go and read it. Although I do have to say, if you're a Christian, there is a bit of a Christian hypocrisy bashing in this book. So if you get a bit irritated by that, there's a little bit of that, which might be hard to swallow for some people. But yeah, very scandalous, fast-paced, and it had me sweating trying to keep up. I need more books from Victoria Helen Stone.
Is this a debut?
I believe so. Let me just triple check.
Actually,
I never heard of her before.
Oh no, she's got a few books.
Oh, yep. She's got Half Past, which was published in 2017, and published in 2016 was Evelyn After.
Oh, okay. So it's a nom de plume for Victoria Dahl. So she's published more than 25 novels. She's taken...
Wow.
Interesting. Oh, her covers are beautiful too.
Yeah, and this Evelyn After has like 20,000 ratings, so I can't believe I've never heard of her. But yeah, Jane Doe is fantastic.
Cool, I'll add that to my list.
Yeah, so all mine are, in my eyes, just really quick, freaking entertaining, fun reads for summer to, read on the beach or while you're out there having a cocktail or a gin and tonic.
I had my first gin and tonic last week.
Your first one?
Yeah, I've never had one. I've never been, because I'm a vodka drinker, so I've never really, had gin. And we were at a restaurant and there was a cocktail on the menu and it was gin and tonic but with elderflower and it was so delicious.
There's so many amazing ways to have gin. Do you like cucumber?
I love cucumber because I love Pimm's.
Okay, so you should try gin and tonic with cucumber.
Okay.
Just a nice big slice of cucumber, really good. Or I have it, in the shops you can buy like bags of frozen berries.
Mm-hmm.
I do gin and tonic with frozen berries. I mean, there is the new Gordon's dry pink gin, which is like freaking like $45 or something, which is ridiculous.
I've been seeing that everywhere.
Top in your own berries. Yeah, I mean, I really want to try it, but it's too bloody expensive for me. So unless Gordon's wants to sponsor us, I'm just gonna put frozen berries in my gin. It looks really pretty too.
The pink gin or the gin with the berries. Yeah, I love it.
Good.
The cocktails with berries, and then they always look really nice. So you did 3 books that you've already read. So I want to know then what is on your summer TBR. Do you have any that you're keeping? Do you do that? Do you keep books for seasons? I do sometimes.
No, I don't. I'm such a mood reader that it just depends on what really tickles my fancy then and there. There's so many that I want. On my Audible books, I just can't get into anything on my list at the moment. Today I was listening to The Cuckoo's Calling by Robert Galbraith.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, like, I love that J.K. Rowling's writing is really descriptive in it, but it's very slow-paced.
It is very slow-paced, and they're very big. But I preferred reading it because I'm listening to the third one. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. I'm listening to that on Audible, and I just don't feel it as well on audiobook. Career of Evil. So that's the third book.
Okay.
I prefer reading it. I don't know why.
It's the same with Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. Everyone's telling me like they wouldn't have been able to handle it on Audible either, but it's one of their favorite books and they read it physically. So I really just need to stop being stubborn and go and buy the physical copy. I'm trying to think about what I want to read this summer. It really depends. I predominantly read thrillers, but one book I am interested in reading is Saucy by, is it Madeline Miller? Yeah. Yep.
Is it that beautiful, like, rose gold book?
Yeah, I think it's about mythology or something.
Greek mythology?
Yeah.
Greek.
Yeah, so I really want to read that, as I've heard amazing things. What else? There's a Dexter series by Jeff Lindsay that I really want to get into. And a lot of Sarah Pinborough's more books that aren't quite as well known. You know, Sarah Pinborough, who wrote Behind Her Eyes.
Behind Her Eyes. Yeah. I'm listening to Behind Her Eyes, but it was too similar to a book I was reading, so I've put that aside for a bit later.
Okay. Yeah, she's got heaps, like Poison and Mayhem, The Death House, The Language of Dying. She's got so many, so I'm interested to read more of hers because, I mean, how amazing is her work?
I've never read anything by her, so is she really good? Because I see her everywhere at the moment.
I really, really loved Behind Her Eyes. I think it really depends on you as a person, though, because the ending isn't believable. I'm not going to spoil anything, but you need to leave reality at the door when you go into the book because it takes a very strange twist.
Which I think I'm okay with because I'd like to think that most thrillers, that stuff wouldn't happen in these books. Otherwise, there's some crazy people in the world.
Well, I love it when a thriller is more believable. Like, it gives me that fright and that spook that I need or that I want and crave when it could actually happen, like with Lullaby and stuff. Otherwise, on my list is, I did not realize how many books J.T. Ellison has written.
Oh, I've read all her books.
All of them? Like,
yeah, Fields... I think so. Yeah. I've read all the Taylor Jackson series, and I really like Taylor Jackson, but I didn't like the Samantha Owens series, so I didn't end up reading any more after the first one, but I really liked the Taylor Jackson series.
Okay.
So I read that after Karen Slaughter's Grant County, and then I think I've read all of J.T. Ellison's standalones except the latest one. I still haven't bloody read. Okay. But I think you deterred me off that one when you said it wasn't very good.
Yeah, but give it a try. You never know.
I will, I know, because we are quite different a lot of the times.
Yeah.
I'm just not rushing out to read it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I know what you mean. The only other one that I'm dying to actually read is, recently I read Elle Croft's book, The Other Sister.
Yeah, and I picked that up on your recommendation, yeah.
Yeah, so because I really enjoyed that, I gave it 4 goblets of wine. I think I talked about it in a previous episode.
Yeah,
I wanna pick up her other book called The Guilty Wife, and it looks really cool and will be good for our podcast because the front cover has a smashed red wine glass. So, yep.
Maybe I think Elle wants to come and talk to us on our podcast.
Yeah, the thing is, like, she's actually spoken to me a little bit, and she was born in South Africa. Hey.
I did read that actually on her blurb.
Yeah, and then she grew up in Australia and then moved to the UK, and she's been traveling around with her husband. And yeah, I just think that it would be really cool to see if she'd like to come on, so I'll get in touch with her.
Well, she's liked a couple of our posts, so we can always reach out.
Elle, if you're listening to this.
Maybe if you listen, yeah. Please
come onto our podcast. Does that take us on to Boozy Banter?
I think it does. Do you want to start?
Well, I have been so busy that I haven't been really doing much because I've got to sort my life out. I've just got, cleaning, cooking, visa. I'm not drinking right now, so that's good. I'm being very, very good, and I have electrolyte water, and I've been gymming, which I've actually started to actually enjoy, which is different. I'm actually enjoying a little bit of a sweat and trying to get a bit healthier. I realized I was starting to drink way too much, and I just needed to just get a bit of a healthier lifestyle and attitude. So that's what I'm doing. Good. Yeah, I'm feeling a lot more positive and happy. Went to Byron Bay, which I told you about. So I'm in the ocean. It was gorgeous. I've come back with feather braids in my hair, which you can't see right now.
I got that done when I was in Byron too.
I'm never taking them out.
I love them. I know. I begrudgingly took them out, and then I was online looking at DIY feathering kits. Yes.
Oh, I want to do that. I didn't even think about that. I was like, I want to do this. And in my stupid brain, I was like, I'd never be able to. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna learn how to feather my hair. That's going to be awesome. What else have I been enjoying? I've been enjoying a lot of podcasts. Let me have a looky. Podcasts. There's been some seriously funny ones lately, but so Case File, sadly they got back to me. I didn't get their writing gig, but that's okay. I still love them. The latest episode was horrific but brilliant. I've started listening to a podcast called Anna Faris is Unqualified. She's the chick from Scary Movie and
I've listened to that before.
She's so hilarious.
Yeah.
And I also like it because she's very philosophical almost, which I really wasn't expecting. And people come to her for advice, and she brings on a different celebrity every week. And people, just random listeners, can ask her for life advice or relationship advice, and she gives really good advice, which is lovely. And then I've been listening to another podcast called Confessions of a 20-something Train Wreck, which is from a chick in Brisbane. And she's really, really funny. Just how you mess up, and, she's got the job and she's got everything going for her, but in her personal life, she's running out of petrol in the middle of a highway and having her car pushed to the nearest petrol station, and it's just a funny laugh. What else have I been listening to? Oh, Murder in the Land of Oz. Have you heard of them?
No, but I saw that you followed them, so I've been looking at their stuff. I love the name of their podcast.
Yeah, so they're going around all of Australia and doing true crime cases throughout all of Australia. And they're just really, really enjoyable. I actually think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think they might actually be Brisbane-based too. But yeah, they're really fantastic. Been enjoying them a lot. So that's Murder in the Land of Oz, if anyone's interested in some true crime in Australia. And then just one last one, and then I'll shut up, is Paranormal Paparazzi. This is by Mercedes Moore and Samantha Evans. And if you like a ghost story or two here and there, they're quite new. So I think they've only got like 3 or 4 episodes out, but I have been addicted to it. Like, just, I find like paranormal stuff kind of creepy. Yeah. And I'm not sure if I believe it or not, but I find it really exciting. So they've been really, really good. They started off, their first few episodes were maybe a little bit like wobbly, kind of like us, but now they've kind of gotten their groove, and they're really, really good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Paranormal Paparazzi. Very cool.
Yeah, really good.
Okay.
What about you?
So the first thing I wanted to talk about was music. We don't often talk about music, but I think it was through Taylor Jenkins Reid's Insta stories that for her new book that's coming out, I think, in January next year, and it's called Daisy Jones and the Six. Spotify, so her publishers put together a playlist. And so I listened to that on the way to work the other day, and I really enjoyed it. It had like Fleetwood Mac and Bruce Springsteen and Dire Straits and really nice like summery for music, because the book of hers that's coming out next year is a bit more like Evelyn Hugo, where it's, I think, like it's told in celebrity memoir kind of form, but it's about the lead singer of a band, and I envisioned her to be kind of Stevie Nicks-ish. I'm really kind of excited to read this book, I think, and it's getting amazing reviews. So many people have the advanced reader's copy, and they are loving it. Awesome. And I really liked Evelyn Hugo, so I think that I will probably enjoy this. But the playlist is really good. So it's called just Daisy Jones and the Six playlist, and I found it on Spotify.
Oh,
so if you like some 70s rock music,
definitely
nice to drive to, that type of music.
Fleetwood Mac's amazing.
I love Fleetwood
One of my favourite. Yeah, me too. Landslide is one of my favourites.
Yeah, I love that song. Every time that comes on, I'm like, play it on repeat. Have to sing it. Windows down.
Exactly.
Mitch and I have been watching the latest season of Shameless. I think it's season 8.
Don't tell me.
No, I'm not going to tell you anything. But I quite have liked this season.
Yeah.
It's taken some interesting turns, and like some characters who I used to really dislike have like moved their way into my favorite characters, and I thought it'd been pretty good.
Mark says that it's impossible because as soon as you start to like a character in Shameless, they do something just to fuck everything up again. So
I always think that about Frank. I'm like, what are you doing?
I know. Like, I wanted to talk about it.
Thank you.
Yeah, like there's times where he's just such a honey, and then other times where you're just like, why?
But Lip is my favorite character, I think. He always has been. I love Lip.
So spoiler alert for anyone that hasn't gotten to season 6 yet.
Tune out and just skip maybe a minute ahead.
So Lip, where I'm at now, is where he's becoming pretty much like Frank, like with his alcoholism, and he's just really messing up. So at the moment, we're not really enjoying Lip, but I'm hoping he sorts himself out, like just like Carl, where Carl started going all gangster, his little wigger.
You'll love season 8. It's very interesting, but season 8 has been good so far.
Good. All right,
and
everyone,
my most hated character in that show remains my most hated character in that show.
Is it Fiona?
No, it's Debbie. I hate Debbie.
Really? Yeah, I don't like Debbie.
Rage so much. And then I also, of course, love Kevin.
Oh, Kevin's amazing. Although I really didn't like it when he started shagging all the people. Hey?
So much comedic relief he provides, I think.
Yeah, like he was one of my favorite characters as well as Sheila, but then he started when him and V split up for a bit and he shagged all those people and he was the rape walker. Then I was like, no, you're like the best guy, and now you've just like V doesn't deserve him though.
No, definitely not. And then Mitch and I watched John Wick, which we did not enjoy.
Oh, I like John Wick.
I thought it was just too
much. The first
much.
one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you hear him?
Yep. There's a John Wick 2 out now.
Yeah. I hated, like, the beginning. I don't want to spoil anything, but the beginning. And then it was just too, like, I don't know, gratuitous gun violence is just not my thing. And that's just all it was, pretty much. I didn't think there was much of a storyline at all. Mitch rated it a 4 goblet of wine out of 10, because our movie ranking is out of 10, and I rated it as 6. So I liked it a bit more than him, but I think he's a harsher judge than me.
Yeah.
And he also really does not like Keanu Reeves.
Do you know he's dating Angelina Jolie now?
Oh, really? I don't like her either, so they can just...
Yeah. They would... I think they match each other, but they're too creepy.
And then for reading, I read The Wife Between Us, which is a recommendation that you made earlier on the podcast by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen, and I really liked it. I thought it was really good. Yeah. It reminded me a bit of The Last Mrs. Parrish. Have you ever read that one?
I really want to. I was actually speaking to the editor of that book the other day.
Okay. Well,
she's a murderino.
Well, I thought this was a better version of that.
Ooh, okay. That's fine. I'm actually really interested to read that, so I'll have to get back to you. And
it was good, and it's a good summer book, and it's also a Reese Witherspoon pick, that one. But I liked The Wife Between Us a little bit better. I think I liked the characters better.
Yeah.
I really liked Vanessa.
Mm.
Well, she was a good character. And then I have been listening to The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker on audiobook.
That's on my to-read list.
That's kind of like a contemporary romancy kind of book, but I really like it. The cover.
I like the cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, ooh, pretty.
It's nice, like it's set in Alaska and there's a little bit of, romance bubbling, but basically it's a girl and she's never known her father, and then she gets a call from this woman to say that her father has lung cancer, and so she goes to Alaska where she's never been, and it's very different to the life she knows in Canada, and I'm enjoying it so far. It's very long though.
Yeah. How long is it?
It's like 11 hours on audiobook.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Which I wasn't expecting. You look at a cover like that and you don't think it's going to be a long book. So never judge a book by its cover.
Oh, it's like The Cuckoo's Calling is, like 15 and a half hours on Audible?
Yeah, but that's classic JK, isn't it?
Yeah. I would never think that it was her writing it. It was amazing.
It's very different. I know, and I always wonder if it hadn't been, if people would have figured out that it was her.
Yeah.
Because you remember, I think it was like a week or two before the book was released, it was leaked that she was Robert Galbraith.
Yeah.
And I kind of wish we had known the other way, like not knowing it was her.
Yeah, it would have been really interesting to see if they did as well. Because I'm sure a lot of the sales have come from, Harry Potter fans that have grown up.
Yeah, and Harry Potter fans are so loyal to her.
Yeah. I did want to say that one of the thing I for my side of busy banter is that I went and watched Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, I did too.
Oh, I
completely forgot. I loved it too. It got really bad reviews.
What?
I know.
It's like one of the best movies I've ever seen, and I want to go back and watch it.
Phenomenal.
I loved it. Screw the haters.
I was surprised, and I wonder if it's people that didn't grow up with Queen.
Maybe.
Because, like, my household is a huge Queen household, and, like, I've seen that Live Aid concert a million times, and he was amazing. That scene at the beginning of the movie where he walks out and you see the back of him, you think that's Freddie Mercury.
Yeah. Yeah, they did so well. I just think that they overdid the teeth just a little bit.
He did have very bad teeth, though.
But they were just...
But I wonder if that was more that actor didn't have teeth like that, so it was extra hard for him to speak.
Yeah, because he did have a bit of like a speechy problem But otherwise, I think it's a kind of movie that you need to see at the cinema for the sound, and it just made such a powerful impact. I want to go back and see
I
it
loved
again.
him. I thought he was phenomenal, but I loved the woman that played Mary. I thought she was great. She was gorgeous, beautiful. That storyline was beautiful, but I loved the band members.
Yeah, the blonde one, the drummer. Oh my gosh.
I loved him too. He's my favourite. Everyone, Freddie says higher. What?
What balls are my blinky neck? That is not a direct quote. I just can't remember it. It was so funny.
Yeah, I really, 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 really enjoyed it. And I remember thinking that I thought Bradley Cooper would win the Oscar for A Star is Born, but then I saw this after, and I think that Rami was phenomenal, and he deserves all the accolades he gets.
Yeah, I haven't seen A Star is Born yet.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I really liked it. I agree with you. I would go again and see it at cinemas.
Yeah. So, to end off, I wanted to ask you, in summer, 1, what is your favourite alcoholic drink? And 2, your favourite food, like summery foods?
I love spritz.
Mm-hmm.
So the Italian, what is it? I don't even know what's the top of it. What is in a spritz, Mitch? What's in a spritz?
Isn't it Aperol?
Yeah, apparel.
Yeah.
And a soda water, I think.
Straw.
Okay.
And
straw. Well done.
And it's Prosecco, I think, too.
Okay.
I love that. I think that's really fresh and a little bit bitter and a little bit sweet. Or I like Moscatos. And then as for food, summer food, I mean, I can't go past a salad in the summer or fruit. Mango. I'm going to go with mango. I love mangoes. I know that's not really a food. It's fruit. So it's not really a meal, but...
But you can do mango with so much. You can make like a nice mango and avocado salsa to have with fish, or you can do like mango smoothie. There's so much you can do with mango.
I do love mango. Yeah, I've seen that at Costco there's adult popsicles.
Ooh. What makes them adult?
They're alcoholic.
Ooh.
So they have like apple martini and like a whole bunch of flavors. So I want to make a trip to Costco and get some.
Oh, very nice.
What about you?
Post a picture. In summer, I love my gin and tonics. I really, really like them. And I do drink a lot of white wine in summer, but it's not my favorite. I just drink it because red wine is too hot.
Yeah.
And I've been getting really into Prosecco lately. I like the other day I had a Prosecco and then I had a glass of white wine, and I just think it wasn't a good mix because then it's like kind of makes the white seem flat afterwards.
Yeah. So
yeah, nice Prosecco is really delicious. And then food-wise, I'm just not a salad person. I'll have a salad as a side. And then I want something huge, like, next to it. But I'm trying to, like, portion myself. So, I don't know. I think I like more, like, nibbly bits in summer.
Yeah, like chips and dip and stuff.
Yeah, chips and dips, olives, gherkins, little, like, a cheese platter, kind of.
Yeah, grazing stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really nice. And, like, chopped cucumbers, cherry tomatoes and things like that, like little cold meats. That's kind of the best things to have. Nuts
and in Australia you also can't go past a barbecue in the summer.
Yes, or as we call it in South Africa, a braai.
A braai?
Yeah.
B-R-I?
B-R-A-A-I.
B-R-A-A-I.
Braai.
Where does that word come from?
I think it's just Afrikaans.
Afrikaans.
For barbecue, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really weird for me to start saying barbecue again when I moved here.
Yeah.
Because like basically grew up calling it a braai. And now I can't imagine saying bri when I go back to South Africa in a few months' time. I'm like, oh, I'm so confused.
Everyone's going to be like, oh, Jade, you're so Australian now.
People are already saying that, like, even in my emails. I don't know what I said the other day, but my travel
like signed off by like cheers.
No, I mean cheers is like English as well, so I've always done that. But I can't remember what I said, but my travel agent was like, "Oh my God, Jade, you like turned full on Aussie." I was like, "Oh, didn't even realise I was doing it." Exactly. Alrighty, so that about wraps up this episode.
Hope you all liked it. Make sure the best way to support us is by leaving us a review or leaving us comments, because that's how we get found in the podcast world. So leaving us a review wherever you listen to us. We love reading them.
Indeed, we do. So thank you to everyone that has done it, and please go and do it so that we can get more well known. Alrighty, we'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye.
Ciao.
Thanks for listening to Books and Booze. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter under BooksBoozePod, or email us at hello@booksboozepod.com. We're also on Patreon if you'd like to support our podcast by donating as little as $2 a month. If you're looking for a free way to support us, then you can leave us a review on Apple iTunes or Stitcher. It really helps other people find us. As always, it's been a pleasure. I'm Jade, and you can follow my Instagram at boho_bookworm, and Chiara is my co-host, and you can find her under bookish.kiki. Until next time, happy reading and drink responsibly.